Good day, sir. I am Floreta, third year BS Criminology and 21 years of age, currently residing here at Bishop's Residence, Davao City as a receptionist and a landscaper. So, I am a working student no, of Archbishop for 2 years, and my duty here is to convey messages from his office to parishes here in Davao City and vice versa from parishes to his office. And it is also my duty to beautify our botanical garden as a landscape artist. So today, no, I am about to discuss the topics that we have tackled in our prelim discussions for Technical English 1 or CDI 5, which are reports. So, the following topics that I am going to discuss in this video presentation are what is a report, what is report writing, what is technical report writing, what is investigative report, how to write a good report that allows readers to effectively absorb the message and information of the report no, by citing the requisites that make a good report to make it comprehensible to the readers. I will also be discussing different types of reports and their importance. And just a note no, that the following types of report that I am about to discuss later on are in context of police activities, no, since there are many types of report, but this video presentation only highlights those reports, no. Ay ihatag lang ako nga mga types of reports are those inclined in police activities. So before we discuss no the topics, let us first define what is a report, since the coverage of our prelim discussion talks about report. So let us first define the report to allow or to enable us to have a preface of the topic. So reports no can be defined as a story performed by men that has been inscribed for record purposes. So it can also be defined as an account of something that one has observed, heard, done, or investigated. So it does not necessarily need to be in text form or written form, no. So it can be verbal or audio or video, as long as the contents are composed of accounts or records of events or activities, no. And in short, no, ang report is a organized documentation of any action performed. Examples reports are memorandum, activity report. So memorandum and activity report are text form in text form report. So kaning akong ginabuhat is also an example of an report. However, it is an audio and visual form of report. So now let us proceed to our first topic, which is report writing. It is a communication that lends itself to a useful tool for people in a free society to express their thoughts and ideas and to obtain what they need or want. So the said communication pertains to text form, since it is said that report writing. So it is a text form, either written or computerized. So in report writing, there we can see facts and opinions. Since it is a general material of information, examples are news articles, magazines, blog, and others pa no. Report writing is a form of communication that allows us to elaborate the information we want to converse to our audiences. So that's why no ang report writing is a general material, since it contains subjective and objective information. So pwede facts, pwede pod opinions, since it is said no na nakadepende sa imuhang audience. So if your audience is no the public, so tapos ang purpose sa imuhang report is for entertainment, such as magazines or mga entertainment books, then you can write opinions and mga fantasy, since the purpose is to entertain. However, if it is for educational, the purpose of your report is for educational and for information purposes, then you must cite factual or objective information, no? So nagaagad jud ang report sa audience o sa purpose sa imuhang report. Next is technical report writing. A technical report is a formal report designed to convey technical information in a clear and easily accessible format. So, ang technical report daw, no, kay isa ka report na designed to communicate information by describing the process. So, it is a step-by-step definition of the process of any technical information. But it is mostly, or technical reports are mostly about scientific or technical research. So, since it is a research, it describes how the event or information happened by showing the facts in the report, no? And it also includes the background, purpose, recommendation, and conclusion. So, sa akong pag-scan sa internet, mostly examples that are provided are different types of manuals. However, these are not only simple manuals, no, such as cooking manual. Dili lang ni siya ang makita nimo sa internet, dili lang simple recipe book. However, it is a manual by step process with a background and recommendations or mga with statistical data pa na, no, ang makita nato sa internet as an example of technical report writing. So the bottom line is, no, ang technical writing, it shows the step-by-step process of any technical information. No, pwede na to gamiton buhatan og technical report ang pag-assemble og automobiles or gadgets, no, as long as it defines a step-by-step process and describes the procedure of any technical information. So that is the meaning of a technical report. Next is investigative reporting. Is an objective statement of the investigator's finding. Objective meaning it is the factual based on the intuition of the investigator. It is an official record of information relevant to the investigation which the investigator submits to his or her superior. So, ang question, why it is called objective, it is if it is only based in the investigator's findings. The investigator is proficient and an expert in the field, so no one can question his intuition, no? And also, ang investigative reporting sa bubo pang istorya, isa ni siya ka document, no, that details the findings of the investigator during his course or the conduct of his investigation. This is where investigators record is the issues of the matter, no, upang ma-identify ang problems. It contains, no, or its contents also analyze the evidence that holds significance to the case. So, ang information na nakasulat aning investigative reports, no, must be in relation to the case. An example of which are the found weaponry or evidences that may lead to the imprisonment of the criminal or may lead to the identification of the criminal, no, mga deadly weapons or any items of evidence, no, that is relevant or has significance to the case. So altogether, no, this is composed in order to formulate a conclusion. So since this is an investigation, the investigation must have a conclusion, no? So after the investigator composes his investigative report, then he will submit it to his senior investigators, no? In order for the senior investigators to check and to supervise na ang investigative report sa iyang junior investigator. So next is the importance of investigative report. First is they serve as records for police administrators in planning, directing, and organizing the unit's duties. So meaning, no, police administrators can utilize such reports to aid their duties. They can use it as basis for their next step to take or to know precautionary measures to consider. Since naa na may nabuhat nga report ana, then they will have prior knowledge before making another step, no? Since the investigative report already possesses findings in the case, no, then the police can use this information to apply it to their best maneuver to execute police duties efficiently. So next is reports can be used as legal documents in prosecution of criminals. So when filing a case, no, in the prosecutor's office, investigative reports are attached together with your documents to enable the fiscal to review these documents and have sufficient understanding of your concerns, and they and also, no, ang kaning mga reports, they are also a requirement. So in the prosecution of criminals, they will use, no, the prosecutors will use these reports as basis or as reference for their prosecution. And next is reports can be used by other agencies, no? So such as I have said earlier, no, na reference. Pwedeng hiramunin ng mga reports para gamiton for reference about sa certain information or certain cases. They can use specific case reports, no, para makabalo kung makaroon sila ng background to have research about it, no. Next is reports can be useful to local media which need access to public documents. As stated, it can be used, no, by media, and ang example ana kay ang mga newspaper articles about certain incidents such as robbery, murder, or drug by bust, no, operations to inform the public. So that's why, no, we can see in newspapers, no, that according to the police reports or the investigative report, blah blah blah, no, so they will use it as reference for public knowledge, no, ang mga reports. Next is reports. The author of a report should also consider that his or her written work is reflective of his or her personality. But for me, no, this is not an importance of a investigative report, but it is a reflection for the author, or it is ang importance yun niya, no, that the reporter or the author must be unbiased while writing his report, since it will show his or her own personality. And lastly, reports can be a basis for research. So as I have said, no, that reports can be utilized as reference for research as related literature or as statistical data, no. Pwede nila i-base sa research or gamito nila ang reports to see kung asa ang mga high crime rate, or to ilang i-compile ning mga reports for the past few months, and they can make a statistical data of which month have higher and lower crime rates, or they can use these reports, no, to identify the areas of high crime rate, no, or mga saturated areas in specific nasod uron sa ba. So next is requisites of a good investigation report. So the requisites, no, mao ni sila ang mga panginahanglan nga anaa sa isa ka report. Accuracy. The report should be a true representation of the facts to the best of the investigator's ability. So, the report must be precise by strictly stating only factual information to represent the incident as it is. So, wala na or there must be no additional or unnecessary information added since it may only complicate the report. So, strictly stick to facts when writing a good report, when writing a report. Next is completeness. The question of when, who, what, where, why, and how should be answered. So the 5 W's in the H must be answered because when pag makompleto na to ning mga investigative questions, the 5 W's and the H, then we will have a complete information about the concern. No? So the report will be complete if the following questions will be answered. Next is brevity. Irrelevant or unnecessary material should be omitted. So meaning it must be concise or compacted with information, and you must use the right words to explain briefly. So brevity meaning it is compacted with information. Wala na gipataas ba? That's why you must use the right words in order to explain it briefly. Next is fairness. The investigator should take the facts as he find them. So the investigator when writing must be unbiased or free from his own prejudice when writing the report. He must state, or the investigator must state the report as it is, when he found the information. Next is form and style. The arrangement of the materials presented should be in a manner which will make the report easy to read. So form and style, the form and style will vary in different units, However, the meaning of this, that it must follow a format so that the readers kay dili masaag ba, they can follow fluently and effectively the flow of your report if it does follow a form and style. Next is clarity. The language and format of a report are simple and to the point. Simply lang or direct to the point to relay the information, Sama sa ingon ni sir na likayan ang pag-apply o flowery words in writing such reports since wala na sila'y relevance. It only complicates the idea of the report or the statements. Mas mapalibog ginoon. That's why you must state facts or state information direct to the point in order for your statements to be clear. Next is specific. Use of specific words that bring the reader close to first-hand experience. So the use of right words to accurately describe or represent the idea or information. So by using the right words, then the reader can have the first-hand experience or mas ma-picture out niya ang information that is being conveyed in the report. And the last one is timeless. Completion of a report promptly. So meaning, one of the most important requisites daw ni siya, na a report must be done as a immediate follow-up of any activity or event that transpired. Reports must be done subsequent to the event in order to be fresh from memory. And mas nindot og buhaton dayon nimo siya, kay ang pag-report as it is jud ba, mas ma-follow, mas fresh sa imo ang memory, then you can describe or lay out the report more effectively. So next is the different types of report. As I have said earlier, no, na the different types of report that I am going to discuss are in context of police activity. So wala sa nato gi-appeal diri tong mga uban nga report nga dili connected sa ato ang topic. So first is police blotter. Is a record or log of daily events occurring within the territory's jurisdiction of a given police unit or command. So police blotter, no, isa na siya ka 12 by 16 inches book with a cover bearing the name of the police force and its unit with date. So it is very important, no, and it is a requisite for each PNP operating unit that must be maintained. Within are the records of all types of operational and undercover dispatches containing the 5 Ws and 1 H of an information. So sa police blotter, nariha tanan makita ang nahitabo within the area responsibility of that certain unit. Tanan reports nga nadawat nila sa mga complainant or tanan operation that they conducted during that day, no? And next is a spot report. This refers to an immediate initial investigative or incident report addressed to a higher headquarters pertaining to the commission of the crime, occurrence of natural or man-made disasters, or unusual incidents involving loss of lives and damage of property. So ang spot report, they are more concerned on casualties and mga disasters, no? Spot reports, no, are usually done subsequently after an incident took place in a certain area, and it must be submitted within 24 hours. That's why it is called spot report, on the spot. Next is progress report. It is an accounting of the actions of series of actions undertaken in relation to an ongoing investigation of a case. So progress report, no, the contents are description of the current situation, progress of the aim. So unsa ang murag status ba, no, meaning it describes the status of the activity being performed to inform if the said activity being conducted has prospered or not. So from the word itself, no, progress, it, no, the contents of a progress report is, no, the progression of their goal or whatever activity they have made, no. It talks about the status, whether they have accomplished or they are making reasonable upgrades or pagsaka sa ilahang progreso. So that is a progress report, no, the status. Special reports are done either because one feels he has some reporting to do, or a lower police unit or office is obliged or is obligated based on the directives or an instruction from the higher police offices. So ang special report, no, is prepared and presented not as a matter of routine, but it is made to convey special or additional information with regards to previous or other reports. So in special reports, no, here includes some information that you want to convey aside from the main report. So special mo siyang gitawag nga special kay it is not done as a matter of routine. So it from sarili nimo ba, mupasa ka ni kay gusto na personal or special information i-convey with regards to other reports. Next is final report. Is a thorough, in-depth, and lengthy account regarding an investigation into an incident or case as mandated by higher authorities to establish a determination of the truth and or how far it could be determined based on the facts and circumstances with the appropriate recommendation for the proper course of actions to be made. So final report no is, in short, it is a summary report of the information and findings. In short, it composes the conclusions of previous reports concerned with the same topic. So after compiling all of the previous topics and analyze, then you can make a final report that makes the conclusion sa compilation nimo na previous topics that is concerned with the same subject. So next is an investigative report. Is considered internal communication. Internal communication siya since it is addressed only towards with expertise to provide decision making. No? Investigation report is complete when it answers the 6 interrogatives of police report writing. So the 6 interrogatives of police reporting are the 5 W's and 1H. It also provides in brief the sworn statements executed by individuals having an interest in the case being investigated. So these statements are from witnesses, no, since they have interest in the case. However, the investigative report is an internal communication, no, towards people with the expertise to provide decision making with the facts needed to determine a course of action. That's why it is called an internal communication, kay exclusive lang ni siya para sa mga naialam. No? Investigation report also aims to ensure that the case undergoes a timely, complete, and accurate investigation including workplace incidents. So that is a investigation report. Next is in flash alarm. Flash alarm is an account relative to the commission of crime or incident filed by a complaining witness or victim to the police, citing the date, time, place, possible motive of the commission, occurrence, how it was perpetrated, and other details relative to an incident. An example for me of a flash alarm is a report made by a concerned citizen or a citizen that was robbed. No, maato siya sa police station, ihang i-account ang nahitabo sa iya ha. First sir, niadto ko sa bangkiruhan, dito nakawatan ko lalaki, ana. Then he will describe the details of the incident. So, simply ang flash alarm is a subsequent report of an incident, such as my example, it contains the facts of the incident and speculations surrounding the incident. So the speculations are the motive. Siguro sir kay nagdumot to siya sa kuha ana mao gikawatan ko. So next is investigator's notes. Recording note. The data of the investigation should be recorded in a complete, accurate, and legible fashion. So investigator's notes are prepared for use in recalling places, events, incidents, or other pertinent facts. These are raw notations sa isa ka investigator during his conduct of investigation, and mao ni siya ang mga notes na iyang ginasulat sa iyang tickler in order to have a review of a specific information when he needs to during the court proceedings. Next is case referral report. It serves as an endorsement to prosecutor's office of the case being brought by the investigating office before their attention for appropriate action. So, ang case referral notes, these are documents made by investigators to be forwarded to the prosecutor's office to be used as reference in prosecuting the criminal. So, Case referrals also include recommendations made by the investigator no, to aid the prosecution of the criminal in an inquest. So meaning no, ang investigators, they will make a case referral report na ilang ihatag sa fiscal's office or prosecutor's office in order for the prosecutor to review what are the recommendations or the findings of the investigator towards this particular criminal in order to for the prosecutor to have a reasonable judgment or reasonable findings to the criminal being prosecuted. So naana po siya prior knowledge about sa criminal since from the report, no? So reports, that's why no reports can be used as reference jud. So next is referral notes. Referral notes are used to inscribe incidents, cases, and other important events that transpired during his or her tour of duty pertaining to the investigator. So referral notes are similar to case referral reports or case referral or reports. However, these are only notations, meaning notes, meaning these are not formal and long reports. These are only notations, but it is made for the same purpose to provide reference to whoever shall take over to the responsibility of the investigator. So, ang referral notes from the word is a referral for reference sa kung kinsa may mupuli. So, an example no is a crime scene turnover. It is not necessary to forward only turnover crime scene report, but it is much better to include referral notes composed during the conduct of investigation. So later on, no, we will tackle turnover of crime scene report. But in referral notes, it states no na as an example, much better po na apila nimo og referral notes ang imuhang turnover of crime scene report to enable the SOCO to have or whoever shall take over to the crime scene to have more prior knowledge about the crime scene. Next is coordination report, a report which is used as a means of formal coordination to be made by the investigating agency with the police unit or military unit having operational jurisdiction over the place where a police case operation shall be conducted. So, from the word itself, no, coordination. These reports are made when there are joint operations. So, naay DCPO and Police sa Manila mag-conduct sila og same operation. No, this allows the investigators and whatever unit has the jurisdiction over the incident to work together. So this is a documentation or a account of the activity conducted by more than one unit. That's why it is called coordination report, because it has the factor or the characteristic of coordinating among other units. Next is the turnover of crime scene report. So, the procedure done by first responder to the investigators in charge. So, since you are the first responder or the first responder, siya ang first nakakita sa crime scene as it is. No? So, we will make ang iyang mga na-discover sa crime scene na iyang i-forward sa investigator who is in charge. So, ang crime scene ang turnover of crime scene report within contains the preface examination of the first responder to be given to the investigator. Next is the turnover of the physical evidence. Procedure done by investigators on the case to the SOCO team. So, ang turnover of physical evidence report is somehow similar sa crime scene turnover report. No? Similar in a way. Because the turnover of crime scene report has the same or the same purpose of contents within the facts and procedures. Pareha lang sila ba nga procedures ang gisulod og mga information about the evidence, ang speakers naman about the crime scene, in order sa kung kinsa man ang mo take over na sila reference, and they will have already prior knowledge about this. And the purpose of these reports are made to determine these reports are made to determine the evidence admissibility and whether they were properly handled and follow the standard operating procedures in handling such items. So chain of command ang paghandle sa physical evidence. It allows the SOCO to have prior knowledge when reading the report about the collected physical evidence. So next is after case hearing report. So duha ka klase, during trial and during promulgation. So the same lang na sila. After case hearing report, during trial and promulgation has the same contents, which are the discourse of the promulgation and the trial. Next is ang nilalaman ng after case hearing reports are this includes the recommended disposition, detailed findings of facts and conclusions of law based upon the evidence presented in the hearing. So lahat ng contents ng nasa after case hearing report are the discourse or whatever have happened during the hearing and during the trial and promulgation that has relevance and applicable to the law and rule. So yan ang sinisulat sa isang after case hearing report. Next is a case folder, complete copy of investigative documents in a particular case. So case folder in short or in shorter definition is a compilation of all documents concerning the particular case. It is a file of reports and documents made throughout the case. So case folder, from the word sa ingon ba nga folder, then it is a compilation of related case reports. Mao na siya gipagtapok sa isa ka folder. Next is forensic request format. Ang forensic special report in civilian letter format. So these are reports that follow civilian letter format. So ang daghan siya og examples na makita sa Google. Next is forensic request format. Ang forensic request format, it is a request to these are request formats that call on to different specialties in forensics for assistance depending on the particular aid that the investigator needs. So if na possible poisoning case, then the investigator will make a forensic request format for forensic toxicologist, So that is all of my report in CDI 5 Technical English 1. So thank you for listening and watching. God bless.